Hi, I'm Annatasha. I'm a photographer based in Kuala Lumpur, and today I'm going to show you how to do immobile mobile photography. I'm a portrait fashion photographer and I studied abroad for 3 years. I got to shoot all different kinds of people in all different kinds of places. But now amidst this pandemic, I'm stuck at home. I'm pushing myself to be creative within these four walls. So this tutorial is for anybody who wants to shoot. You don't have to be a photographer. All you need to have is one of these. As long as it has a camera on it, you're ready to go. I'm gonna take you on a 4-step journey on how to set this thing up. We're gonna start from finding inspiration all the way to editing and just from your mobile phones. And I know some of you still work in the daytime, so I'll provide a nighttime tutorial as well. So step 1, finding inspiration. How are we supposed to find inspiration in these 4 walls that we've been stuck in for over a month? Well, even when we were allowed outside, we were still always on our phones. You can reap inspiration from your friends' creativity. For me personally, I like to go on Instagram. I scroll and scroll and scroll until I find something that resonates with me. Inspiration could be anything, from mood, to color, to lighting, concept, makeup, fashion, anything at all. So what I do is I screenshot it and keep it in my photo album. A quick tip on how to access these mood board photos easily is to create its own album. Here you can see that I'm creating it with a very special name, mood board. After you're done with that, you're ready for setup. So now for our setup. I like to find an empty space and slowly dress it one step at a time, either if it's a blank wall or a blank floor space. As you can see here, I took my bed duvet, a chair, a throw, a fake plant, another fake plant, and another fake plant. Once you're done decorating, you're almost ready to shoot, but you gotta decide what you're gonna shoot first. It's either you wanna shoot the set, or you wanna shoot an item, like a bass guitar, or shoes, or your partner, if they're willing. But in this case, for me, I decided I'd shoot myself. If it's gonna be an item, make sure it's clean, polished, unless the grungy look is what you're going for, then keep it the way it is. For me, I put on makeup. The only way I can change up my look is to change up my face. So for today's look, I'm going for the smoky winged eyeliner. Now, setting up the camera. If you have done any kind of photography before, I'm pretty sure you own a tripod. But an extra cool thing that you can add to the tripod is one of these phone clips. And because I told you that anybody could do this, if you don't have these items, improvise. As long as your phone can stand upright, we're good to go. Now a quick tip for lighting. A lot of you may already know this, but I'm just gonna throw it in here anyways. If the light source is coming from in front of your subject, you're gonna get pretty straightforward lighting. If the lighting is coming from behind your subject, you're gonna get a silhouette effect. This adds a lot of mood. Very mysterious vibes. And if the light source is coming from your subject's side, you're gonna get this kind of mood lighting. Part 3, shooting. You have your subject and your set good to go. Go ahead and shoot away. You have all the freedom to move around and snap, snap, snap away. But say you're like me and you want to shoot yourself. Because I shoot myself, my best friend is the timer. Once you have your angle and your timer set, shoot away. Don't be afraid of shifting props or moving items around while you're in shoot. For the most part, a lot of the best things that come out are spontaneous. Also, I am aware that using the timer can get very tiring, going back and forth and back and forth. But I mean, hey, at least we get a workout in, right? Now, angles. Go crazy with your angles. Experiment. You know, you can go from straight front up, to downside up, to upside down, to on the floor, and really close. You might be surprised with what these experimental angles came up with. But of course, not all of them will come out right. Quick tip. If you want to have a close-up photograph, make sure you zoom in from your phone and not put the phone right up to your face. What I learned on Twitter is that zooming in will maintain the perspective as opposed to bringing this close up to your face, which will warp the photo. Alright, and now for the nighttime shooting. Nighttime lighting is kind of daunting, especially for a mobile phone photo shoot. Our mobile phones don't really take low light very well, so in this setup, I'm going super simple. White wall, a bench for me to sit on, and I have 2 reading lights. The way you angle your reading light is exactly the same as the lighting tip I gave before. But if the room is dark, you might need a little more direct lighting so that the photograph comes out crisp. Ceiling lights are fine, but I like creating a mood with just direct lighting from spotlights/reading lights. So in here, I've actually folded some aluminum foil around the light nozzle to create this vibey, watery, looky look. Looky look? And it'll take a while to get it right, but I promise you'll figure it out. Step 4, editing. Editing is my favorite step out of all the photo shoots I do, because processing a photo and editing it really can change the whole story you're telling. And I edit with emotions, so I'm gonna show you some of the styles of editing I like to do. Of course, this may not be your style, but I'm gonna show you what some of these basic things do on your phone app. The app of my choice, which is free, is Lightroom. You don't need to go pro, all you need is just the basic stuff, because that's all I use to edit all of my photos. What I like to do is favorite my photos first, so it's easier to find out of the whole hundreds of photos we've taken. For the daytime edit, I always start with the light category. I fix the exposure according to what I feel is right, and then I immediately go straight to highlights. Highlights, I try to bring it all the way down without discoloring the skin on my face. This gives it a super diffused vibe. And then I go to the whites and bring that all the way down. I also mess around with the contrast, because if it looks too faded, I can bring the contrast up. If I want it to look more faded, I bring the contrast down. If you only want to accentuate the shadows in the photograph, bring the shadows slightly down. After that, I go to the coloring section. There's this little button here called Mix, and you can pick which color you want to edit. My skin tone will react to the orange color. I like to bring the luminance down a little bit, just so that my skin doesn't pop out so much, to still give it that really diffuse faded look. But if you want your skin to really radiate, bring the luminance all the way up. If you bring it all the way down, you're not even going to look like yourself. The saturation will help pop your skin out a bit, but also bear in mind, it will bring out every other orange thing in the room as well. Now, split toning is something that will really set the mood of your photograph. I used to not get it at all. But you know what? With some of these apps, you don't even have to get it. You just have to try it out. I drag the pointer halfway up the bar and then slide it across all the colors to see which color fits my mood best. And then if it's too orange, bring the slider back down again. Sometimes this is all you have to do. But if you want to experiment with the split toning of the shadows too, go ahead and do the same thing. For nighttime editing, this one's a bit tricky because sometimes you're working with really underexposed photographs, and if you bring it all the way up, your photo's gonna look really noisy. Noise, however, is an aesthetic. Now for this one, I go through the same process as I would a daytime shoot photograph, but they all don't work quite the same way. So I mess around with the lighting again, the highlights, the shadows, but for something with so little color in the photograph, only having a white wall and a blue blazer, split toning is the most fun. I go all out in the split toning in this one, and I really wanted a blue color vibe, so I went straight to the blues. After finding the perfect balance for the blues in this photograph, I go back to the mix wheel, click on the blue, and saturate it according to my liking. Now, once you're done with the photograph editing, it's really easy to do the next. Here's something that Lightroom and ViscoCam, as far as I know, can do. You can copy the settings from one photograph and paste it to the other. It might not come out looking exactly the same, depending on how the photo was shot or how the lighting changed mid-shot, but all you'll need to do is tweak them a little bit. And there you have it. You have your own photo set. Vibes all on the same level, and you're good to post it anywhere you want. Edit to your heart's desire. There is no right or wrong way to edit a photograph. As long as you feel good about it and you love it, it's perfect. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Happy shooting!
Time to get your groove on. Time to get